Good day, everybody. Chart here, your tech guy, also your HRV guy. So I'm heading out on a mission today to pick up a Fire Stick, something I never had because I skipped over the Fire Stick and went in and got the Fire TV instead because I wanted something a little bit more powerful. But I was watching a video by one of my subscribers, HRV EX, where they hooked up a Fire Stick inside their HRV using the HDMI port to mirror their phone to the screen. Now, I've done something like this in the past, but I never did the mirroring. I just tried to hook up the Fire Stick to the HDMI port and using my phone's Wi-Fi to stream the signal to the Fire Stick so it can show up on my screen. But as soon as you put the car in gear, of course, you know, it shuts off that feature. Well, in that video, I noticed that it was able to disable that feature, which is something I never looked up before. I'm pretty sure it's been around for a long time. I just never really went back and researched that. So we're gonna see how well it works, because I got some ideas, some different ways of actually using it to my advantage. So stay tuned while I head out to Best Buy here and pick up this Fire Stick. Okay, so I got my Fire Stick to put into my HRV HDMI port, and this is one of the reasons I probably plan on keeping my 2016, because the new model doesn't have that HDMI port. They eliminated. So the 2019 is probably not going to be on my list of shopping right now, because I kind of like this HDMI port. But my thing is, like I said, is to use this guy not only for the mirroring, but also to get the Amazon Alexa inside my car using the remote. So I can drive, ask her to do something like play some music, probably pull up to my house and tell her to turn on the lights outside, you know, stuff like that. So it's not just for mirroring, but it's also to get Amazon Alexa inside the vehicle. But anyway, let's get this show on the road. Let me head back to the ranch and take care of this and see how well it works. But I want to thank one of my subscribers, HRVEX, for sharing that video and the features of how to disable the HDMI port from going into non-viewing mode every time you put the shifter in gear. So now that I have the power to do whatever I want to do, I plan on using this feature to the fullest. But not watching movies while I'm driving. That's no difference from drinking and driving, texting and driving. All of that stuff is distraction. So that's not my purpose here. My purpose is to use most of the Amazon feature of Alexa while I'm driving, and I can see my music, pull up stuff, and just take a quick glance, especially when I'm at a stop sign. So warning to anybody who go on this venture, please don't use it to watch movies while you're driving. Use it mostly when you're parked and you're chilling and you're stuck in traffic and there's a standstill going on or something like that and you can't move. Go ahead and entertain yourself. So there it is, the actual movie playing on my screen. It's kind of hard to get used to, but I will, because for the last 3 years I've been staring at this screen and all I saw was a menu system. That right there, this is what I'm used to. I'm either in this menu or I'm in the audio or somewhere else, but I never saw actual movies playing on my screen before. And that's an awesome sight right there. So the screen has more potential now than just actually looking at it and seeing menu system. Now I'm watching videos, and right now I'm parked. So like I said, don't be doing it while you're driving. Don't do it. But the Alexa feature is the feature that I'm trying to use the most, which I can use using the remote, because now it's built in. The first Fire Stick I had didn't have the Alexa built in. So when I tried this at one time in the past, as a matter of fact, I think I tried it when I first got the HRV, and it worked then. But that Fire Stick was kind of slow, so it wasn't responsive. Plus, it didn't have the Alexa feature built into the remote. So now that I got the newer stick, I'm using it to the potential. And basically I'm trying to do is get Alexa inside my HRV while I'm driving, because I use her a lot while I'm at home. So I'm trying to get her while I'm on the road and this is the feature that I've been looking for. What is the weather now? So as you can see, I can see the weather information and not just hear it alone, which is kind of cool, because now that display is almost like it's been enhanced, which is like, I'm very impressed. Anyway, like I said, these things are features that's built in now, and it makes my head unit has more potential. Thanks to Honda for including it into this model, the HRV. I hate it for the people who have the brand new HRV 2019 and don't have this feature, because you're really missing out. And it's not your fault, it's Honda's fault. Maybe Honda noticed that, you know, a lot of people was taking advantage of this in a different way, and maybe they didn't want to promote this feature anymore, so that's why they took it out. So this is more of a reason to tell me, you know what, let me keep the one that I have and not worry about trying to upgrade to the latest model, because I would hate to lose this feature. What is the Mega Million jackpot? Wow, that Mega Million jackpot is pretty large. I think I might buy me a ticket. So I have one disclaimer that HRV EX didn't mention in his video, and I just want to point this out, that this feature automatically disables itself every time you turn the car off, so it goes back to default. Basically, that's what I'm saying. So you'd have to do the steps all over again every time you enter the vehicle. You do that before you start driving and you're good to go. It's a good, convenient feature, but at the same time you'd have to reactivate it every time, because Honda has the head unit to go back to default every time the vehicle is powered off. So this is what it looks like every time you start the vehicle again. So this is what it's going to display, and you'd have to activate that feature again just to get it to work right. So you'd have to go back in your settings again and reactivate it the way the steps point out in that video, and then once you do that again, it actually comes back to normal setting. And now when you go to HDMI, you can see it comes back to the regular settings where it did before. But every time you turn off your vehicle, you're going to see that HDMI in until you go back in and reactivate the feature to disable it. Alright, so I just wanted to point that out to you to let you know that there's one steps extra you'd have to go through every time you go in your vehicle. But it all depends on your drive. If you got a long drive ahead of you, yeah, go ahead and do it. If it's a short drive, I wouldn't worry about too much about it, because it's not going to serve you any purpose anyway. So I guess Honda don't want to encourage the fact that you can do that, and that's why it always go back to default settings. And hopefully, you know, if you do it a couple of times, maybe you just get aggravated and not do it anymore. But if you don't mind repeating those steps every time you start up your vehicle, then have at it. The feature works, and you can just keep using it. You know, it doesn't disable anything from working. You just can't see the display until you actually deactivate that setting. But I also want to point out that even though you can't display anything unless you disable that feature, the Alexa part of it still works. So you can still use your remote and ask her to play music and tell you the news, or tell you any information that you can't see on the screen. But the Alexa part of it does work. So you can still use the remote and talk to her and ask her to do things, and it will still play through the head unit using your HDMI port. You just won't able to see any videos or any pictures or anything like that. So those two disclaimers I want to let you know. You know, there's plus and minus about this whole thing, but it's up to you. If you want to pursue it and you don't mind, then the features is built in for your purpose. Okay, so that's gonna be it for this video. I just wanted to show you that you know, I got this cool feature now, make my HRV, it feels a little bit more brand new. Yeah, those features that's built into the 2019 and the look and all was trying to entice me to try to do an upgrade, but you know what, after doing this, I realized I have an advantage as far as in-dash feature that the new model doesn't have. Yeah, it comes with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, but now I'd rather take this over all of those other features, because this makes me a little bit more versatile. Plus, I finally got my Amazon Alexa in my vehicle the way I want it to, which is what I've been pursuing for the last 2-3 years. is try to get the best way to implement it inside my vehicle. So with all the data that I have stored up on my plan, now I have somewhere to use it, because I've been basically giving it back to Straight Talk. You know, I gave it back every month because I never use it up. I mean, I might use half, quarter, but not the full amount. I can really get usage out of it now. At least going back and forth to work, I can just pull up stuff and even display stuff on my calendar. That's pretty awesome, which is cool. So I bought this cool cover for the remote, because this remote is going to be more on the road and not sitting at home. So I expect it to get a little bit banged around. So this cover should help protect it. It was only $2, so it's worth the price to protect the remote. And I got it from Best Buy if you're looking to get one. Okay, so that's gonna be it for this video, and I just want to shout out to HRV EX one more time for sharing that video. Check the link in my description to his video of how to disable that feature in your HRV so you can use the HDMI port while the car is in gear and not just in park. All right, okay, so have a good one, and I'll see you next time.